Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gills, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee.
You sure? It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome, welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is a very special day on the morning grind because it is episode number 90. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. But lots of people here. Stray is here. Theo is here. Hey, Theo, Retro Nerd Girl. Good morning, Retro Nerd Girl. Mike Hansford is here. So, yes, and Mike points out we're on the countdown to 100. And Mike asks, anything special planned for that episode? Well, I was planning on making a special episode 90 because when I originally set out to do the morning grind, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to commit to 30 days of live streaming. And so the first 30 days of live streaming was alpha, what I called an alpha release. The second 30 days was what I was calling beta release. So that was up to 60s. And then once we turned 61, then we were kind of into the show as far as I was concerned. And then we hit 90. So that's 3 months of streaming. That's basically 3 different 30-day iterations of this show. And that kind of works well because over the past 3 or 4 days in the lead up to this, I had kind of been evaluating how the show was going, how things have shaped up, how things have changed over the past 90 days. Now, that I have not streamed for 90 days straight because I missed a few days because I was traveling for Christmas and there were some holidays. So I might have not streamed the morning grind like 3 or 4 days around Christmas holidays. So this is probably, it's not exactly 90 days straight, but it's pretty close to 90 days straight of having the morning grind. So I was like, how do I change things up? I'm changing the way that I try to release the things that we make. In fact, this morning I was working on some drive-through RPG and drive-through fiction stuff, trying to set that up and learn how to do it. So it may be that around episode 100, we actually start releasing or putting some kind of stuff out on some type of print on demand or something like that. Because one of the issues that I've had is that I've got like the mega projects, which are things like especially the action figures, which are taking forever and require large print runs in order to do. And even the those plush toys, those require a minimum order of 2,000 of each toy. So those require a lot of people. But I was thinking, you know what? I've got these books. I've got Goodnight Sword. I'm working on the world primer for the Tales of Rabavania, which I was working on again today. Finished another chapter, so I've only got 2 chapters left: the Bestiary and the Gazetteer to write, and the text of that will be done. The rules still have to go in, and of course layout and all of that. But I'm writing stuff. I'm like, how can I get more stuff out? So releasing stuff in PDF. I'm experimenting with loading stuff into print on demand. We're going to see. So maybe something like that's happening with episode 100. We will see how that lines up because we need something. We need something for episode 100. Now, I was supposed to have something for today, and I was getting that hooked up yesterday. But then when I submitted it, of course, I was like, all right, let's go live with this. And of course, when I press the button, it says, okay, thanks. We'll review it and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. And I submitted that at like 7 o'clock this morning or something like that. And I was like, oh no, I was supposed to have that for the 90-day opening. So I guess I won't say what that is quite yet. So, but there is something that will be coming. Maybe we'll have that for tomorrow morning, but that will be our 90-day celebration. So there should be 90 days and then 100 days. So, I've got my drink here. I haven't even done that. I got cultist coffee this morning. So here's to all of you. Here's to all of you for having been with me for 90 days, 3 30-day iterations of this show. So thank you so much for being here and making this everything that it has been. So let's, I'm going to drink to you guys. So watch this space as far as new stuff is coming on. BGD, welcome BGD. And Eli Stanley says, good morning. Just picked this up. Cyborg yesterday. Oh, am I supposed to have an underscore in this name? Maybe I am. It's difficult to tell. Well, no, it doesn't. No, I guess it does. Look right here. So maybe that's the underscore. I didn't notice that. With the art, it is sometimes difficult to figure out. I wasn't sure if there was supposed to be a space in it or not. Like here, it doesn't look like a underscore or whatever. So we will see. So this was one of the books that Free League sent to me to review and check out. So we are going to be looking at Cyborg today, and I'm looking forward to that. I got the auxiliary camera system set up, so we will open that up here in just a moment. So that's what we're taking a look at today. Emirate is here. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Successful Geek says, so I talked with my therapist last night about creative outlets, and my initial is being a first-time GM starting this Sunday. Wow. All right. After that, I want to get into writing. Any recommended exercises for that? Oh, I don't know about, it depends on what type of writing you want to do. I don't really have recommended exercises. My exercises is just saying that I've got a certain amount of time I'm going to write per day. That's our classic time scheduling or moving big rocks that we work with right here. So my exercise would be, listen, I got to write. For me, it's 3 hours a day, and I try to get to 750 words. Now, see, that was actually difficult today. I didn't get anywhere near 750 words today, even though I wrote for 3 hours this morning. And that's because I was editing the chapter on chivalry and nobles. And so I got all that done. But I got that chapter finished, except for that didn't add words because it was all editing and making sure it was right. So that happened. So I would just say a word count on a per day is a good exercise. Every day I'm going to write whatever word count it is that you can achieve every day, and then increase from there. Thank you, Retro Nerd Girl. Thank you. Yes, it does continue to evolve. I think the whole show, the whole channel, it continues to evolve, and I think it does get smoother as we go. I think it does. Thank you for posting the Discord, Stray. A small 5-pound weight strapped to your writing hand. Yeah, it could be. That could be a good writing exercise. I still have to update the morning messages. What's today? Today is Thursday. I'm still not sure what kind of show we're going to have tomorrow night. I haven't been able to. I completely have not been able to work on a show. I need some more help. I have to get some help over here. But Tuesday, the Cool Name RPG should launch on Kickstarter, and I need to make sure that we update the morning messages so that Mark Tassin has. We're talking about the Cool Name RPG on Kickstarter, and we'll be following that. So that's one thing I got to change. And if we've got these like new PDFs and things like that, I need to make morning messages for me. So that's something that's got to happen. But let's go to the messages, and then we will get into the Cyborg book here. The Morning Grind is brought to you by World Anvil. For all the RPG players out there, World Anvil offers extensive character management, including character sheets, journals, inventory, and spellbook. Everything a player looking to lose themselves in their character could want. Use the code MORNINGGRIND to get 40% off yearly subscriptions. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the world of Ataltis. The Ataltis Game Master's Guide includes brand new rules for hauntings, magical corruption, goodwill, character resolve, skill specialties, and more. Check it out on Ataltis.com and get it for your table. The Morning Grind is also brought to you by the Thrones and Bones Viking-inspired fantasy RPG setting. Sagas of Norengard features 7 adventures designed for characters of levels 3 to 8. With the adventures in the campaign book, you have 1st to 8 level adventures ready to go. Get the books on DriveThruRPG today. And thank you for being here with me live on The Morning Grind. And if you're watching on replay, welcome to you as well. It's great to have you here. If you're enjoying The Morning Grind, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I would be very thankful. We also have the Ravenkeep Discord server you can join if you would like to be a part of the community. Alright, that's what you need to know. Let's get to the main topic. So on that subject, I was mentioning last night on the wind down that according to the analytics, only 9.3% of the people who watch this channel are subscribed, which is low for a YouTube channel. And that's probably because of the way that I built this. I've been making YouTube videos for years. And there are a lot of YouTube videos on the channel, but I think that means that a lot of people who subscribed over the years don't necessarily even know that things like the Morning Grind are going on. And maybe people who found like the Ryan Dancy interviews and things like that didn't necessarily subscribe, which is fine. But that does mean that if you're here, please do hit the subscribe button, because I think someplace between 25 to 50% is more standard for YouTube channels. So maybe we can get the ratio of subscribers to watchers up. All right. So let me bring up the auxiliary camera over here. And let's see what Cyborg is all about. I do like these size books. You know, I was using the Fate books. This is a little bit different from the Fate books. But I was kind of using that as a model for what I wanted to create for Rabivania. You know, the big standard size Dungeons and Dragons books are pretty, standard in RPGs. But here are 3 different sizes that I like. I think they're handy. So Cyborg is a bit smaller. The Fate books use the 9x6. I'm not exactly sure what size Cyborg is, but it's a bit smaller than the Fate books. And then I noticed that Savage Worlds is kind of an intermediate size. It's larger than the Fate stuff, but not as big as, of course, the Dungeons and Dragons book. But I like the smaller size books. I also think that if I've got novels, it would be nice if the RPG books and the novels all, in hardback, all lined up together. And so this is a good size for a novel, or even the Fate, is a good size for a novel as well. That's a novel size book. And it's also an RPG size book. So that's one of the reasons I'm thinking about trying to put stuff out in the smaller format. That way everything sort of lines up. So this is this one right here. Hey, Zero the Blade. Yeah, I found you. There were a lot of people I know who came in because of the OGL disaster. So that was good. I got to think of some more videos to make just about role playing and stuff like that in general to put out. And I also want to clip some of the discussions that we've had. There's a bunch of different clips from the discussions that we've had from all kinds of RPG things to put out. But I think I need some help getting clips out. Now I understand why people get help editing videos, because I can edit videos. I mean, I've made hundreds of YouTube videos. Probably I've made thousands of YouTube videos. Probably a couple thousand YouTube videos. Doesn't mean they're all still up, but I've made tons of YouTube videos. So I can, but if you're trying to be live, you're also trying to edit videos. You're also trying to write scripts and stuff like that and write books. You do run out of time rather fast. All right. So let's see what this is all about. This is a Borg style RPG. It says nano-infested doomsday RPG about cybernetic misfits and punks raging against the relentless corporate hell. And this is Borg Hacked. Stockholm, Free League Publishing right here. And like I said, Free League did send me this book as part of my review package. So thank you very much to Free League for this. So has anybody played this one yet? So Retro Nerd Girl says this sounds like it'll be cool. I love the name. And Trey says this game and Pirate Borg are games I want to read. So glad to see this one. Oh, I didn't know there was Pirate Borg, but kind of makes sense. I kind of want to do. I want to get on a schedule about being able to produce written works, which is what I'm trying to do with getting back to writing. It seems like one of these Borg style books would be fun to do. But anyway, we'll see. So these games have got. They're big on tables, names, pocket lint, weather, infested items. But let's see if we can figure out what is actually going on here. It says, the world is ending, because I don't know anything about it. The world is ending, constantly in flux, shifting, distorting, always reborn as something worse. Destruction by ecological catastrophes, the fallout of history's belligerence by modern man-made miseries, or the blood spilled by the relentless machine of capitalistic supremacy. Mankind's greatest ability is truly to destroy itself in creative ways. Designer demise, consumer customized death endlessly on repeat. I guess this is, we've looked at a sci-fi Borg RPG before because that's Vast Grimm. So this one sounds, is different. So we'll kind of compare and contrast. Where are my Vast Grimm books? There we go. Is this the same size? It is. So he actually made that to, this is my friend Brian Colin, does Vast Grimm. He's on Kickstarter right now, actually, with some new Vast Grimm stuff. I backed it. So he did a Vast Grimm style sci-fi game. And we went through Vast Grimm to find out what Vast Grimm does. This is it's published by Infinite Black. My friend Brian runs Creature Curation. So he did that. I'm not sure when the different publication histories of those, but this means we're looking at two different types of Borg sci-fi stories. Definitely check out the Vast Grimm episodes if you haven't already. If you're interested in sci-fi Borg. He's got a really crazy kind of setting here. Poisonous space rocks, nuclear weapons, cyclical revolutions, warring nations, warring corporations, warring neighbors, pandemics, tsunamis, volcanoes, in between it all, a direct person-machine interfaces, tactical neural implants and bacteria from outer space hijacking intercellular neurorobotics. And the sky is full of ads. The messed up world they left us. What is the, that kind of reminds me of, what was the sci-fi I really enjoyed that, where you've got the chip in the back of your neck, and so you can die, and you have you can have the chip put in a new body unless you blow out the back of your chip. The sky is full of ads reminds me of that. everyone is infected, injected. Everyone is interfaced, injected, infected, infested with something. Everyone wants something from something else, from someone else. Everyone is a liar and a cheat. Everyone wants more creds. Welcome to the year 20x3. Welcome to the city of, I don't think you're supposed to be able to read that. The Sigh. We should have burned this city centuries ago. New capitalists rule from glass towers in Central. Immortal OG money aristocrats in gated communities. In gated mansions, in gated communities, in gated enclaves in the hills. This month's VIP celebs from their personas and clubs in the ports. It's an interesting style because, you know, the whole Mork Borg's type of stuff, because you're just kind of supposed to get a feel of this as you go through the book. Like reading the book is kind of a experience with the art and the layout style. As a writer, I'm kind of tend to be text heavy, but that's why it might be good to mix it up sometime and try one of these out. It just seems like it'd be fun. Zero Theory says, yes, actually, I finished a 17-session game of Mork Borg, and now we moved on to Cyborg. Only one session so far. That is awesome that you did a 17-session game of Mork Borg. Successful Geek says, I love the art in Mork Borg style books, but for me, it makes it so hard to read. Yeah, we talked about that. Where I got the Mork Borg book around here too, because we did talk about that as being a potential. Wait, do I have the Mork Borg book, or do I have? Did we look at that in PDF? We might have looked at that in PDF. I might not have the Mork Borg book physically, but we talked about that when we were looking at Mork Borg. That sometimes the layout does get in the way, and I don't want that to be the case. That was we had a little bit of that over here with Vast Grimm, although I think it was better. I think it was better than Mork Borg was, or maybe I just kind of understand these kinds of books a bit better now. But at least something like there is like a how to play someplace in here, and I didn't even find it until the end, and I really wanted to put that toward the beginning. So at least organization needs to be something to look at. Because right now, like, I still don't even know what this is, like, as far as even what kind of dice I'm rolling and stuff like that. So it would be fun to try to do one of these, but try to organize it a little bit better based on our principles that we like here. And, like, how do you know what it is that we're doing? Because I don't... See, have we even seen, like, a table of contents yet? No. We don't do a table of contents here. So this seems like all world building kinds of stuff. I saw that Free League, I think it was Free League, or it might have been one of the brand accounts, retweeted something that somebody had written on like 4chan or something about Mork Borg that was like why it looks like it's punk, but it's not actually. It was funny. It was one of their Twitter accounts, but it was like they retweeted, even though it was like this brutal review of the game that was why it seems to be so hardcore and punk, but it's actually not. They clearly thought it was funny too. Successful Geek says Vast Grimm seems more space and Cyborg seems more cyberpunk. That might be the case. Vast Grimm, I would say, is definitely sci-fi. You're flying around on spaceships and stuff like that. But now that I'm looking at this, I kind of thought cyborg, sci-fi, but cyberpunk may actually be more like what this is. Miserable headlines. The group should decide how often they want these events to occur by choosing what die to use. D66 headlines and their consequences. So things that can happen during the game. Anti-human bioterror attack. The body count climbs after the bio bombings of several passenger cars earlier tonight. All metro, monorail, and tram cars are closed while major C Corps compete to hunt down the 666 world terrorist cell that claims credit for the act. Arc Dagon in flames. Toxic smoke from the burning arcology shrouds Psi in a fluorescent deadly mist, forcing people indoors and underground. Vision is low, radioactivity is high. Oh, so lots of headlines. Okay. Are we living in a simulation? Reactor Magnificus professor Dr. Dura Everin at Sci-U has found proof that the world is a simulation run by unknown entities. Everin could not be further reached for comment. In 12 hours, the simulation restarts. Replay the entire campaign. So Trey says, it does look like it's easier to read than Mork Borg. Love the art, but it did make it hard to read and understand if you're just trying to get into it. Like, what is it? Because as one of our things here, at least, is what is this and how do we play? Altered Carbon. Thank you. Yes, Altered Carbon. I need to watch that again. I didn't see season 2, but I did really enjoy season 1. Cyborg is A5 sized. It's roughly the same as half letter in the States, Eli Stanley says. So yeah, so this is I need to be more familiar with all the A sizes. So did we say that Fate Core is A6, that Fate uses A6? We like to evaluate games on all levels. The art, the rules, and even actually what your physical product is like. Because, hey, as creators, we need to know what these products are. So maybe it's A5 and A6 then. See, Vast Grim does have, I think. Well, no, it doesn't really start with. It starts with I guess you're just traditionally with these type of stuff, you just start with a bunch of stuff to kind of throw you in and get a feel of the setting. I think I would definitely. Okay, so then you get to character creation. So that's definitely when we're getting into game rules and it says character creation. I hadn't seen exactly what that is, but I would want to at least let people know what kind of section they're in. Okay, the system. Okay, so now here we are. So I guess this is the system. So now we're talking about how to actually play here. Oh, that was Successful Geek who said Vast Grim does look a little bit easier to play. Successful Geek also says it might just be me picking since I work around the UX and software. It's come up quite a bit though. Emirat says, that's my biggest problem with World of Darkness stuff too. They go way too hard on aesthetics and it makes the rules difficult to read. Well, it's been a while since I've read the World of Darkness stuff. First read through MB and was like, what? But then I think you get into the headspace, then it gets easier because you get it. Yeah, I think that's why I was saying that it could be that I've just kind of, since I haven't played it, but since I've read through these, I kind of understand what's going on here. Because, yeah, I think that was basically my initial response as well. What is this? It's a bunch of tables. It's a bunch of stuff spread all over here. BGD says, if the art style is an overkill for some, Mork Borg is offered for free in a bare bones PDF edition by Free League. I didn't know that. I bet a lot of people will be interested in that. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you, BGD. Okay, so the system. You are encouraged to break every single rule in this book except this one. Rule 0. Player characters cannot be loyal to or have sympathy for the Corps, the cops, or the capitalist system. They might find themselves reluctantly forced to do missions for them or their minions, but make no mistake, they are the enemy. Okay. You begin with 2d6 times 10. I guess that's like your credits on an anonymous cred stick. Some cheap clothes and a retinal comm device, RCD, and cash gear, D8, D12. Hey, I got my dice over here. I got some Doom Edition Elder dice here, so we can roll it. You begin with a lifelike eyes. You begin with lifelike eyes. Okay, lifelike eyes. Chromed out headsets and everything in between. Beams, holodata, ads, propaganda, the net straight into your skull. Access sites, send, receive texts, pics, video feeds. you interface with technology. Like everything, it can be hacked. Okay, so what's my cash gear? Let's see. I get some D8 here. 6. I get D4 hand grenades, D6 damage up to D3 targets. Well, all right, I'll take that. 3 hand grenades. Roll a D12. Where's the D12? 2. Micro torch cutter. Power for D4 uses. And another D4. D12, excuse me. 12. A random nano power. I guess I'll figure out what those are later. A6 would be half as big as A5. Okay, well, then that's not it then. Fate core is probably half letter. Okay. I'll have to look all that up. I was just going by sizes, by inch sizes. But as soon as when I get into the print on demand, I'll probably have to specify that even further. All right, so make a punk. Yep, that's what we're just looking at, right? Roll up a punk. Roll your abilities. So choose a choose or randomize a class and follow the class's instructions for gear, abilities, hit points, debts, and glitches. Roll your abilities. Roll for feature, style, and obsession on pages 54 to 57. Randomize your stuff. Roll your debt. Roll your glitches. Roll your hit points. All right. So what are the abilities? Agility, knowledge, presence, strength, and toughness. Roll 3d6 and use the table to generate ability scores from -3 to +3. Classless punks roll 4d6 and drop the lowest for 2 abilities of their choice. Punks with a class follow their class's instructions and roll 3d6 on the rest of their abilities. You use the roll to get your score, but then you don't need the roll after that. You can carry strength +8 normal-sized items without a problem. After that, agility and agility. After that, strength and agility DRs increase by 2. You can't carry more than twice strength +8. So here's what we're actually doing. I think it's D20, like most of our Borg stuff. To succeed on a test, roll D20 plus or minus your ability score with a result equal to or greater than the difficulty rating. So, these games are going to be really highly swingy, right? I mean, we're rolling D20s, but here's our problem. Our problem is in terms of what we've been talking about and with the videos on dice numbers and things like that, that our modifiers here are only -3 to +3 and 9 to 12, which we're generating according to a bell curve distribution with 3d6 is +0. So this is going to be a dicey game. Enemies and opponents don't roll to attack. That seems to be standard in the Borg style stuff. Instead, the player character rolls to defend or resist. When an opponent has to roll to resist poison or find hidden tripwire, for example, they roll a flat D20 against DR. Difficulty ratings are simple, routine, easy, normal, difficult, really hard, almost impossible, from 6 to 18. I guess these are our classes. Shunned Nanomancer. It's inside you, infesting your brain, warping your flesh. People are afraid of you now. They're afraid of the power that poisons you. You're scared too. HP is toughness plus D4, D2 glitches. You got infected when... Like, all these games have to do with something getting infected. Vast Grim had that. 1. You got infected when you spent a wild night with a group of neo-pagan cultists performing profane rites to some snake god. Okay. You also have... Didn't I have some grenades or something? I also have a second mouth where your navel used to be. Okay, well, this is crazy. Any food or drugs consumed with your navel mouth are twice as effective. Okay. Stray says, is this the punk meetup? Can I join you? I have nothing else. I brought dice. Yeah, come right in. This is apparently doing some weird punk cult stuff here. Yeah, necromancy, nanomancy is like their version of magic spells. This is the, see, I didn't even know what this, okay, so this is Burned Hacker. You're one of the sharpest deckers in Psi. No one could use tech or warp the world with an app like you could. You don't know what went wrong. You messed up. Maybe you were tricked. Maybe you were sloppy. You glimpsed a terrible truth, and now you're burnt. No collective, no fallback, no nothing. Discharged core killer. A good soldier in bad company, always fighting someone else's war in the name of greed. Capitalism crushed your enthusiasm quickly enough, and now you were discharged without severance. Emotionally scarred jarhead. Roll 3d6 -1 for knowledge and presence. Tough as nails. Roll 3d6 +2 for toughness. You roll d4 +1 for armor. Your autofire tests are always -1 DR. The core wants you dead. This is very Cronenberg. I don't know that. Retro Nerd Girl. Orphaned gearhead. People are unreliable. Socially, physically, emotional, weak bodies, and weaker wills. They are worn down, unfixable. Instead, you have mastered emotionless steel and loyal code. You can fix, drive, and pilot any machines. Machines you can trust. This is Renegade. Renegade something slasher. Renegade some kind of slasher. You are death incarnate, a frenzied flurry of chrome, murder, and blood-stained steel. But yours is no mindless rage. You match your trained and cybernetically enhanced body with an equally disciplined mind. You used to kill for a cause, for an ideal. Now you kill for money. I have no idea what that word is. Oh, cyber. Okay, I was hoping somebody would have over here. So cyber slasher. Oh, okay. So I suppose that's supposed to be the C and the Y. I was trying to make that into an N or something like that. I was thinking like, no. Okay. So what did we say it was? Cyber. Oh, Oh, that's supposed to be a B. It looks like an R. Okay, yeah. See, this is kind of when the art is getting in the way of trying to of this. Okay, so Renegade Cyber Slasher. Okay. Oh, is that from the thing? Is that from the thing? I don't know the thing. That's on my list to read. Millmaster says, what do we think about glossy paper and pop art style versus readability? Now, of course, I don't know how it's coming across on camera with the gloss, but isn't even like, well, I would say that this is semi-gloss here with the Fate stuff, but you're dealing with a much more traditional book layout here. What about Savage Worlds? Well, this is gloss too. I would say that Savage Worlds is printed on gloss paper. But again, we've got much more traditional kind of structure here. Pan says the layout is too confusing for application. You know, I think these things are the whole Mork Borg style of stuff is supposed to be all run and gun. I mean, you're supposed to be running and gunning with it. But I still think, and that kind of gives, I suppose, some type of underground feel of initiation. If you have one of these books and you know what it is, then you can kind of just get into the feel of it, but you kind of have to be initiated into it. because I don't think it's supposed to have a whole lot of structure. But on the other hand, the rules are an obstacle to getting into the game. So they might kind of know that, and so they're saying, hey, so let's just kind of dispense with structure. Just kind of open the book, get into it, figure out and get the feel of it, and that's your initiation. But I still prefer the games that tell us right up front, like what we're doing, what this is, to help us get into it. Oh, Retro Nerd Girl, sorry for being film nerdy. David Cronenberg is a director known for using a lot of body horror with the mouth for a navel, but this is also ultra violent, like a Paul Verhoeven film. All right. Okay, you're right. I do not know. I was out of that when, like, on General Geekdom, people were talking about all the film stuff. So, yep, I'm not in on that yet. I need to be. I should be. But Trey G says, you're saying run and gun makes me think of Blades in the Dark. We should look at that one in the future. The art. Yeah, I mean, the art, I mean, the whole books are works of art. A particular style of art. So this is Forsaken Gang Goon. You ran with the only gang to have your back and treat you more like slum trash. They were your family, and you bled, stole, fought, and killed for them. Now they're gone, and you have to keep your edge. I guess those were all your character classes. Optional NPC tables. Optional NPC tables: wants, quirks, current obsession, weapons, D12 or by class, and D4 mags if applicable. You also begin with one of these. D12, let's just roll. 12. Sniper rifle. I got grenades and a sniper rifle. Sniper rifle. 2d10 damage times 3 crit damage when aiming for 2 rounds, minus 4 DR, and plus 3 damage. Other options include broken bottle, machete, too many throwing knives, ancient revolver, smart gun, 2 small SMGs, shotgun, monosword, assault rifle, assault rifle with a grenade launcher, pulse rifle, or sniper rifle. Armor. Okay, so armor, we subtract armor from our damage, right? That's our armor tier. It's the way we do things in Borg, I think. Zero Theory says, just speaking from experience from running these, the rules are light enough, and once you get playing, you don't really need the books unless rolling on a table. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Yeah, the books and the tables are there to kind of help you generate some kind of story. Because I take it you're also kind of winging that. Hey, you get just ideas from just a bunch of different stuff in here, and then just kind of seem to go with it at the table, I would guess. But then, yeah, the rules are light enough that we shouldn't be having to, at least, thank God, we're not having to do like a reference stuff. We're having to really reference stuff in here because there's no index, there's no table of contents, so finding stuff might be difficult. I guess that's why they give you these 2 ribbons here, because I might want to drop one on armor so I understand that, maybe on weapons, and also maybe the starting character or something like that. So armor, no armor, style guard, rough, smart wear, combat armor, and end game exosuit. You have a debt of 3d6 times 1,000 credits. 2 D12. So I have a debt of 6,000 credits to A death cult run by a board member from a powerful corporation. Well, that does not sound good, but I'm sure that none of these are particularly good. 10 would be someone you trust hospitalized with increasing medical bills. And how bad do they want their cash back? 5 out of 6. Mill says, does this come in a large print edition? Other equipment, crowbars, transport, housing, other services. Ammo. After each combat, roll D8 for each weapon you have fired, or D6 if you used auto fire. A 1 to 3 result means you're out of ammo and have to reload. Regular ammo costs 10% of the new weapon's price. For weapons without a listed price, assume the ammo is harder to get and price varies between 60 and 120 credits. Single-use booster mod. Single-use boosters modify a single shot with a special ability. The attack deals normal damage and can be fired with most weapons, modern weapons. Like a tag injector. No damage, but plants either a tracker or a dose of any drug or poison. Or a nano trig. Test presence DR14 or temporarily trigger a random nano infestation. Drugs. Eli says, the best description I've heard of Mork Borg style games is art punk. I think of them as art projects first and games second. I can see that. You know, the art style, because, you know, Brian, my friend Brian, is an artist and primarily a sculptor. He does other things as well, but I primarily know him for the sculpture. And if you've seen him at Gen Con and stuff like that, you probably see his sculpture. So like this, he and I did an interview with him on Table Talk where he talked about how he did the art for Vast Grim. And like this right here is a physical sculpture that he did. And then he photographed the physical sculpture and then, you know, did a bunch of combined stuff, combined the physical sculpture with the graphics. So he did sculpt stuff. Like I think that's a sculpture he did. So it's a mixed medium art project. The creation of this book was. Like that's clearly a sculpture. You know, something that he sculpted for this. The no, that's something specifically for Mork Borg that he did. It's probably sitting around here someplace, but like that skull wearing an astronaut's helmet. That skull was one, you know, an actual plastic skull that he sculpted over and painted, and the astronaut's helmet was like a kid's astronaut helmet toy, and he put it all together. Zero says, Eli, in my opinion, the game doesn't lack in any way, though. I'm back in a cult again. Yeah, that's a constant theme, it seems like. Mork Borg and its offshoots all remind me of the rules from Into the Odd with small differences. Well, so, I mean, I was interested in that too, because I got Into the Odd sitting right over here. We looked at Into the Odd one day on the morning grind. Into the Odd right here, Into the Odd. So I noticed similarities in the rules of Into the Odd as well, because this seemed like a similar style. This is also a Free League publishing game. This one is also from Free League, because it was one of the ones that Free League sent me as well. So it's much more structured. It doesn't have, you know, it's got some cool art and stuff in here, but this is a much more traditionally structured book. There still is not a whole lot of text and stuff. There's still a bunch of tables and stuff in it and things like that. But this is not anywhere near the craziness of that. But the rules do have a lot of similarities, and the, like, you know, the players roll all of the dice. simple kinds of armor, that sort of thing. So I was actually wondering which came first. So this says copyright 2022 by Chris McDowell. Well, this also says 2022. When did Mork Borg? Well, it must have come out before 2022. So this came later. But yeah, there is a bunch of similarity. This one is also, light setting, but setting heavy. I guess that's kind of a weird description of this kind of style. Yeah, the clayish look to it. Yeah, he does. That's a lot of Brian's art style. Successful Geek says, I think one of my favorite things about Pathfinder 2nd Edition is the trait system, the idea of adding tags to stuff to quickly understand how they work over time as you learn. Those tags are great. I like that too. Eli says, I didn't mean to imply that the game does lack. I didn't mean to imply the game does lack. I bought it for the aesthetic. It's such a beautiful book to have on my shelf. Its cool art creates a frantic feel, represents today's culture. It does. So Into the Odd and its offspring Karn had a huge impact on the OSR scene. Oh, okay. So I was about to say, okay, so you're looking at Into the Odd remastered. The original game was originally published in January 10 of 2015. Okay, thank you for that info, Trey. So when was Mork Borg published? But did Into the Odd come first? Mork. Oh, no, I can't find it. Well, we'll see. Somebody might know. Not all who wander are lost. Welcome, welcome. The built-in bookmark ribbons are the first part that seems good for usability to me. Particularly dislike the glare from the glossy paper. Though admittedly, I'd want to sculpt too if I was making. Oh, so Mork Borg's release date. So it is newer. I thought it was newer. So 2019. So maybe then Into the Odd had influence on Mork Borg. I thought this, when I read this, not all who wander are lost, I thought this said you were doing party stuff, but listening. But you were doing stuff, but partly listening. Hopefully you are doing party stuff, though. Okay, so drugs. That'd be fun. Maybe somebody out there is doing some kind of party stuff. So drugs, cost after the slash is for weaker recreational doses. Adrenochrome, red juice, adrenochrome, bullseye, red pain. A lot of these games have drugs and stuff. Cyber tech stuff, retracting cyber claws, body gun, APDS or AP. I'm not sure. Back lashes. Oh, D20 app fumbles. So this, apps. This is just apps. Custom-made cartridges and cassettes with the ability to hack tech and physically affect your surroundings when slotted into a cyber deck. So this is app backlashes. Nano powers. So we said this was like magic. Yeah, odd font. I think it says apps. It's a struggle. Sometimes. So nano powers. Didn't I have some nano powers? Let's just roll a D12 here. 5. Bent prism. A person becomes invisible and attacks and defends at D6. The effect round lasts for D6 rounds or until you are hurt. So these are strange powers rumored to be an infestation of alien bacteria riding nanobots that first appear in the incident's aftermath. As a host for this parasitic menace, you are granted curious powers, a blessing, or perhaps you are merely a conduit for something you cannot comprehend. Each power comes linked with a random infestation which may trigger and make your day worse. Test Presence DR12 when you want to use your power. Success means you activate your power. A failure hurts you for D2 damage, and a fumble also triggers the infestation linked to that power. Each nano use adds +1 to the risk of fumbling when using nano powers until the next day. So here's our D20 infestations. Didn't we have other infestation charts? Probably. Number 5, gills. All right, I'll take it. Hey, maybe Rob would love that. You can breathe underwater. For D6 rounds, you cannot breathe air. Tests toughness DR12 for each round or suffer D4 damage. What's another one? I just rolled 5 again. 2, rot. Skin and flesh slowly rot. Large chunks of skin fall off. You take D6 damage, and for the rest of the day, take an extra +2 damage from physical sources. You begin with D2 glitches, unless your class says otherwise, and regain them by rolling that D2 or class-based die again after you spent all the glitches. Oh, you can spend glitches and have a chance to rest. You can use them to deal maximum damage with one attack. Oh, so these are good? You can use glitches to deal maximum damage with one attack, re-roll a dice roll, yours or someone else's, lower damage dealt to you by D6, neutralize a crit or a fumble, or -4 DR to one test before rolling. Hit points. See, I thought that said loudness. No, it's toughness. It's plus D8. 0 hit points battered. Negative HP dead. Or you can pay for an emergency response team. Emergency body modification. So at 0 hit points, you're battered, and you roll D8 to see what happens to you. Well, where am I? Oh, there's D8. 7, hemorrhage. Death in D2 hours and less treated. All tests are DR16 in the first hour, DR18 in the last hour. So at negative HP, you are dead unless you can pay. If you have a personal bank account with at least 1,000 credits, there is a 50% chance for an emergency response team to reach you in time to save your life. If you are at 0 or -1 HP, add an additional 0 to the bill for each negative HP thereafter. For each negative HP, you will spend D6 days in intensive care afterwards, but you will still be alive. Initiative. Group side initiative. If necessary, agility plus D6 determines who acts first in the group. Melee. Test strength DR12 to hit and then roll for damage. Single shots with ranged, presence DR12 and then roll for damage. Crits are natural 20, double damage, and target's armor cover is reduced by 1 tier. Fumble a natural 1. When the smoke clears, counter bullets, and if there's time, restore some HP. Combat mods. Cover, aiming, range. Hits always hurt. Hits always deal minimum of 1 damage regardless of armor reduction or negative damage modifiers, unless that would bring a character down to 0 HP. Suppressive fire. Improving. If the dice system is gnarly, I'm in. Frequent TPKs are fun. As long as character creation goes fast and people are get into it. Some of these games you just need to remind your players, this game does not care about your feelings. So you owe money to a death cult, and now you have gills. Maybe the cultists play maybe have the cultists play Cyborg sometime. That would be funny. The glitch is their version of omens from Borg and are the lifesavers. Ah. Oh, into the odd was roll under. Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah, it seems to be rolling over. So this does the same hit points for advancement. Roll 6d10. If the result is equal to or greater your current maximum hit points, increase by d6. Foes show no mercy. Oh, so this is now we get into our Bestiary, generic Secop or Gangoon, Virid Viper, Road Runner, Raging Menace, Kurgos, drones, different kinds of drones, Crawler, Flyer, Stinger, Turret, Enhanced Beasts, Warg, Vamp, Croc, Droids, Headhunter, Whitetail, combat vehicles, Milcorp, Gunship, Armor Car, like a mech. Yeah, I guess that says mech. Like that. What does that say? It looks like a mech, so I think it does say mech. Data, NPC tables, mission generator. All PCs start with a debt they need to pay back. To avoid being hunted down, having their stuff repoed, and being thrown back into the gutters of the slums, they have to accept work from the forces that run Psi. Use the mission generator for mission seeds to offer up the PCs. Roll, pick, and choose. Mix and match. Ignore what doesn't make sense. Fill in the blanks. Reuse known people, locations, and organizations. Remember that cores and cops are always the bad guy. So, patron. Oh, contact. So first is contact. That looks like a D20. Let's see what I'm supposed to do. 9. Regular fellow from the PC's favorite watering hole. Acting on behalf of a clan of roadrunners. I take it that's not the bird because we saw roadrunners earlier here. Who promises fame and exposure if I trick a politician beneath a replica pyramid someplace in industrial Mosscroft. It is protected by cyber slashers, and something's going to complicate this job because somebody else gets there first. Well, that does generate I mean, that sounds like trick a politician, but I mean, that requires creativity on the fly. But all right, that did sound like a kind of cool adventure seed. Location features. So once I get to that pyramid, where's the D10? The distinctive feature, I guess, other than a pyramid, parts have been taken over by squatters engaged in a slow but deadly conflict with owners. Its hidden feature is a small data node that leads into the low-res virtual hellscape of a dying world. A terrible monster guards a large stash of credits. And the additional danger is mold in the walls releases slight sight-blocking spores when bullets hit them. Corporation generator, cult generator. Oh, we got to roll a cult here. These guys worship. Okay, the cult leader. Let's try this again. They worship death. Okay, pretty standard. Nuclear destruction. All right, they worship nuclear destruction. In a private residence in Oak Island. We're getting close to the end here. The city. D20 net events. I guess if you're trying to hack into something online. Lucky Flight Takedown. So it even has, this is part of an introductory cyborg heist. So it comes with a introductory adventure. Random encounters. Huh. Cool. So that's why that's like that in the back of the book. Oh, no, it does have an index. That's an index. I look like another table, but it does say index. The city, cores and cults, the opposition, the system. So it does have some way. It does just get to something you're looking for in the back. So there is an index here. It doesn't look like an index. It looks like another set of tables, but it is. That's an index. And then, okay, so then also quick reference in the back. Abilities and tests, combat. Okay, so that does help. Index and how to play. Or quick reference on how to play. Wild. Let's see what people are saying. Okay, I'm in if he's running the adventure. Nice adventure seeds. Yeah, I think that was cool. I think I want to be able to generate something like that, like with cards. But you know what? You could probably do it with a table just as well. All right. Well, so there we go. So that was taking a look at Cyborg. See, if if I can organize an RPG show, I got to organize an RPG show. Maybe somebody can run that adventure, that introductory adventure in Cyborg. I think that'd be fun. All right. Yes. The Ravenkeep Discord. Thank you, Stray. Thank you, Stray. Ravenkeep Discord is there. Would love to have you there. This was a great 90th episode. So thank you so much for being here. Look for something else on the channel. I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow. Hopefully that'll be 24 hours. So it'll be live and up and running. So we'll have that. And then, yep, we got to come up with something to actually have out and doing for the 100th episode. If you have any ideas and things like that for other kinds of ways to celebrate 100 episodes, definitely let me know. I didn't like the game, but I did like the channel. Well, yeah, that's understandable. We go over lots of different kinds of things. Not everything is for everybody, but at least now we know. So look at it here on the channel, and then that way you don't have to buy it later on. And the show is over. Oh my God, Vision finally made it home. Freaking overturned 18-wheeler, thought he could make a left turn. Freaking at 50 miles an hour, was stuck in traffic for the last 25 minutes. Ouch. Oh. Well, all right. I'm glad you're all right, even though you're stuck in traffic. All right. I'll see everybody around online. No live stream tonight. See you tomorrow. Bye, and grind on.